The changes that have come about in our country in the last 50 years are a result of the deterioration in morality.
We love ourselves. We become lovers of self. We looked at government as a solution when our founding fathers told us clearly government is the problem.
It was founded as a republic. Article 4, Section 4 says we're to have a republican form of government. Not once is the word democracy used in the Constitution or in the 50 state constitutions.
But you almost have to go back and re-educate people.
Every study shows that where we used to be #1 in all of those important subjects in math and history and economics and engineering, all those subjects, we now are a dismal 12th, 15th, 25th, 30th.
I think if we understand how we've turned away from God, how we've turned away from our principles, and repent, we can become a great nation again.
Because of the burden of too much government, because of the burden of a socialist or entitlement mentality.
A lot of Christians are blending in with the world, looking like the world, conforming, so we tend to look like that, so we tend to justify our lifestyles.
When you factor in Hollywood, journalism, newspapers, television, and the fact that our kids are primarily technology kids. Our kids are children raised on technology. From the earliest moments of their lives, they're bombarded by it. So it's not surprising that the overwhelming liberal bias in traditional media has a way of stealing our kids from us.
We have the truth, let's just share the truth. And they will be interested if they hear it in a format that they enjoy.
We know that we live in a day and age where everything is quick, everything is short, attention spans are short. We know this applies to the young generation within social media. So there's no reason why we can't put these wonderful nuggets of truth into short, pithy, impactful messages that we can get across this nation.
We could certainly use that from a Christian point of view. From a Constitution basis, we can certainly provide that information and provide something fun and exciting. There's things happening that we can take advantage of.
That's technology, that's video, that's fast-paced, that's editing, that's everything you see the Hollywood people using with such great effect brought to bear on conservative media.
I think there's a huge market for it, and there's a need for it. It's just that we don't see enough people trying to do it.
I think we're going to have a tremendous impact. A media expansion is the next major step.
Tuesday, September 6th, 2011. Freedom Project Education opened the virtual doors for the inaugural semester of a brand new Constitution-based online school, grounded firmly in Christian values. Completely independent and refusing all government funding, Freedom Project Education welcomed 22 high school students on that first day of classes. 4 years later, FPE's faith and hard work has been rewarded with an exponential growth of more than 500 students to start the fall semester, in grades ranging from kindergarten through high school. Families choose FPE for a wide range of reasons, from the Christian values on display in each class to the authentic courses in American history and government. But all agree that they remain loyal to FPE because of the commitment to unbiased education, free from indoctrination. Recognizing the need for further outreach in our communities, FPE embarked on a corresponding program of adult classes. These became known as campus classes, and in 2012, 3 sets of 8-week courses were offered on-site in Appleton, Wisconsin, and simultaneously broadcast live online for students across the globe. Course study ranged from the Second Amendment to the Christian apologetics of such classical literature as the Screwtape Letters and Crime and Punishment. Just like enrollments for FPE's K-12 program, registration for the campus classes exploded, recording 1,500% growth for the first 2 classes of fall 2013, Overview of America and the Bible as Culture. Building on these successes, FPE launched Camp Freedom in June 2013. Camp Freedom offered a week-long interactive learning experience, teaching kids basic civics and American history. The camp for middle and high school students was offered on-site and live online nationwide, filling up all available slots in less than 2 weeks. Freedom Project Education focuses not only on classroom education, but also excels in video production. In just a few short years, FPE's media department produced 4 national award-winning videos, including Principles of the Constitution, Presidential Minute, 56 Signers, and a documentary chronicling the Christian Heritage Tour. The unprecedented growth and expansion of Freedom Project Education encourages us to embark on the next phase in our educational plan to restore American values and nurture the next great generation of American patriots. And we call it Freedom Studios. Freedom Studios will be the first of its kind information and media hub for the preservation and dissemination of traditional American values. In fact, it will be an extension of our Christian school. The studio will allow us to create innovative live television and radio programming, all furthering constitutional awareness and promoting a return to the values of liberty and self-reliance on which our nation was conceived. The new studio will be built as an East Wing addition to FPE's current headquarters in Appleton, Wisconsin. Upon entering the envisioned 14,000 square foot facility, guests experience a 3-story atrium surrounded by a series of high-definition TVs broadcasting media produced by Freedom Project. On one TV, guests may see a live feed of programming being recorded in the television studio or radio booth, while on another, guests may be getting a front row seat in one of our live online classrooms. In the middle of the atrium, a winding staircase leads to a second-floor suite of offices occupied by production staff working on various programs airing throughout the week. On the main floor, the FPE shop offers the opportunity to purchase a series of films and television broadcasts produced in-house and available on DVD, as well as other promotional items. Directly behind the FPE shop is the lounge, where guests can enjoy stadium seating while they wait to meet with staff or attend a live taping of one of Freedom Studios' many live broadcasts. Moving to the front of the building, the new hallway connects the atrium to FPE's current headquarters, and to the back, a state-of-the-art digital radio broadcast booth. By using the internet to broadcast radio content all over the world, listeners will not only be able to hear the various radio shows, but also see them, as the booth will have remote cameras mounted inside during on-air broadcasts. The majority of the programs will be talk-based commentary, with all recordings made available for social media sharing and free podcast download 24/7. Directly to the left, we find the Video Control Center. From here, production staff can monitor all video broadcasts from the radio booth as well as the video production studio. Designed for full high-definition broadcasts, the Video Control Center can accommodate up to a dozen production staff at a time to oversee various shows. State-of-the-art compression equipment will allow live broadcasting to any computer, tablet, or smartphone. And following each and every production, shows will be made available online to watch in their entirety, as well as broken into shorter segments, allowing them to be quickly shared through email and social networking sites like Facebook and Twitter. A trip down one of 2 hallways located on either end of the atrium reveals the video production studio. Upon entering, guests will notice a custom-built set, top-of-the-line studio cameras, a professional lighting grid, and stadium seating to accommodate more than 120 people, offering each of them a perfect view. Guests also have the luxury of watching the live broadcast on 2 high-definition screens suspended 20 feet in the air, allowing them to experience exactly what the audience at home is seeing. The studio will play host to various production sets, including an area designed for sit-down interviews, topical discussions involving our panel of experts, and a content-driven space designed to provide daily news updates and live interviews with guests around the world. Behind the set is a space designed especially for a green screen, allowing the producers the opportunity to expand their creative reach. A second and smaller space known as Studio B will allow for a completely different set to be built, accommodating special projects the production team is developing. And while the primary use for this studio will be video production, it will also be a flexible space. All of the sets will be built on casters to stay mobile, opening the floor for other educational events including guest lectures, Camp Freedom, FPE's annual Freedom Conference, and campus classes. The best part about Freedom Studios is the amount of content that will be produced. Thanks to a partnership with the New American Magazine, meaningful and relevant content will certainly be in ample supply. Even though productions will be driven by different personalities, the mission will be unified under the goal of taking back our country through outreach and education. Finally, a most critical aspect of Freedom Studios can be found at the center of the building, connecting the atrium, radio booth, video control center, and studio. All paths lead to the Giving Tree, a 7-foot-tall piece of art that stands prominently in the front of a stone wall, highlighted by cascading water. From the very beginning, Freedom Project was established entirely by the generosity of donors. Over the last 3 years, Freedom Project has worked hard and delivered on its commitment to those donors, and now, every day, children and their families are being exposed to the truth. This Giving Tree will take shape with the names of donors committed to investing in Freedom Studios. Glass plaques will surround the tree, etched with the names of donors able to contribute a large portion of the funds needed to complete the media center. And no matter the size of the gift, decorative bricks will also surround the front of the building, etched with the names of all the generous donors who helped pave the way for Freedom Studios. If you find the idea of Freedom Studios resonates with you, your family, or your company, we encourage you to make a tax-deductible donation online through our website, by mailing a check, or you can simply pick up the phone and call. With your help, Freedom Studios can begin to produce quality programming that will challenge and ultimately overcome the toxic influences that waste our resources and co-opt our children.
We realize in these tight economic times, asking people to take a risk on us is a big deal. But you took a risk on Freedom Project Education. Have a little faith in us. You're going to be absolutely astounded by the results.